appearance? Good morning, beloveds. Foster is making an appearance. Tom had to run an early morning errand, and he did not get his cream cheese, and he has been walking around the house complaining about it. So I'm a little surprised he's in here and making a cam meow for you. You've heard me say that before, cam meow. That was a word I got from a friend of mine who has been gone for a couple of years, and I miss him. But by saying that word on a regular basis, it keeps him alive in my mind and my heart. So cam meow, that was Bill Birch. So you know Bill Birch, that was his word. He always loved to see the cam meows. Sometimes they're only tails, but you know, it's very rare that that I'm in here without a cat. So they don't always stay the whole time, but he might. He just snuggled down. Of course, if he hears because Tom's back now. If he hears the cream cheese, he'll be out of here like a shot. All right. What? I got work to do. All right, it is March 20th, which ironically is Tom's birthday. So, but that's neither here nor there for this. It is March 20th. Our title is Realize Christ Within. And our author is Rowland, and this is excerpt from Come Ye Apart a While from 1957, and this is from Unity. And it looks like it might be a poem, so let's see. All right, realize Christ within. I am the light of the world, ye are the light of the world. Not my will, but thine be done. Blessed are my eyes, for they see clearly, distinctly, and perfectly. I am God's loving and obedient child. Blessed are my ears, for they hear easily and clearly and distinctly. All power is given unto me in mind and in body. I am not bound in personal consciousness. I am free with the freedom of spirit. My yoke is easy and my burden is light. I am strong in the Lord and in the power of its might. There is nothing to fear. I breathe the breath of life freely and easily. The forgiving love of Jesus Christ sets me free from mistakes of the past and results of the mistakes of the past. God's cleansing, healing, purifying love flows freely through every part of my body, renewing and restoring me. Divine order is established in my mind and body and in all my affairs. I am ever renewing and the ever unfolding expression of infinite life. All right. Oh, whoops. Sorry. As I mess with the camera angle. I have the feeling some of those may be quotes, and some of them she may have written herself. Because like, not my will, but thine be done. That sounds like a Bible quote. But there are other ones that I'm like, I don't know. It's in the era of giving credit to people's works. Authors from, when did I say when I said this was written? Because Ernest was really bad about this. 1957. So Ernest was really bad about that. He quoted the Bible all the time, but he never told you where the quote was from. And I think that some of that has to do with the fact that, coming up when he did, there weren't a whole lot of books, Like, if you looked around my house, I have a library in I probably have more books in my house than some small town libraries have. And I have, I agree with Terry Pratchett, I have a wide a variety of genre of books. So the only book in my house is not the Bible. Now, that being said, I do own 6 or 7 copies, six or seven different editions of the Bible. Because, well, one minister, and sometimes what I will do with the Bible is I will look a passage up in several different versions of several different editions of the Bible to see the different translations. Okay, and I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to own more than one Bible, and I encourage you to look in different ones. There's one, and I think it's called The Way, but I could be wrong, where somebody took the Bible and translated it into more modern language, and that's really an interesting. It's really an interesting read. Oh gosh, it is definitely springtime. The cats are shedding. I just looked down and I'm covered in black cat hair. There was this time when the Bible was the main book. Like, if you could afford to own a book, the one book you probably did own was the Bible. So that was the book you read. So authors would reference these Bible quotes, and they didn't have to give you chapter and verse, because it being the only book in your house, you probably were pretty familiar with it. Well, in this new era, in this new world, the Bible is not the only book we own. I have a wide variety of books to choose from to read daily. In fact, the iPad that I'm using to do this is sitting on 6 different books. And they are all kinds of different. One is Scottish Clan and Family Encyclopedia. One is Stonehenge Decoded. One is called Daughters of Isis. One is Irish Country Cures. So, and the bottom one's Tartans. So this is what I'm saying. They could quote the Bible, and they didn't tell you who it was because they didn't have to. Now, if we're going to get back to that, it's just a history lesson. And it's something that, that's why now we will frequently say chapter and verse. So if you want to know where it is, because we understand you probably haven't memorized the Bible because there's so many other choices that you have to read. Now, the good news is that, you also have apps where you can look up Bible quotes. You can look up Bible quotes on the internet. Just type it in and it'll tell you chapter and verse and probably give you a little commentary about it. Or you can listen to the Bible. The Bible is now audio. It's one of the things that I'm contemplating doing is actually reading the Science of Mind text. Because I don't have a new 365 and I'm going to finish this up in April. And so I'm like, well, I could simply read the Science of Mind text. Every morning, get on and read it, just a couple of little sections of the Science of Mind text, and then I'll finish it when I finish it. I could do it with there's a reading the Science of Mind text in a year, but it's different parts. So I'm going to look at that. So if I decide to continue doing this, that may be what I do. So y'all let me know if you're interested in listening to me read the Science of Mind text. So, okay. So May Rowland, some of these are definitely Bible quotes, and some of them are. What I will remind you is that with a number of these, they would make excellent affirmations. They would make excellent, you can call them affirmations, or I like to call them power statements. They would make excellent, like you could use them in bodies of treatment if this is what you're working on. They would make, you have a variety of ways. And if a word or because there was one in there where they used the word Lord. I asked Jesse, I said, well, what do you use in instead of Lord? He said presence. So you can definitely change the words if you choose to use them as either affirmations or in treatment, in the realization part of the treatment. The whole point of this, because she doesn't make it clear because they're short, pithy statements, but she says, realize the Christ within. So I'm going to remind you, because, hadn't in a moment, I talk about the Christ consciousness like it is software. Okay, my mother was an electrical engineer, so this is why. So the Christ consciousness is software that we come pre-installed with, okay? Absolutely every living being on earth comes pre-installed with the Christ consciousness. They don't call it the Christ consciousness. If you are in the Buddhist tradition, you might call it the Buddhist consciousness. If you're in the Hindu tradition, you might call it the Brahmin consciousness. If you are in any of the other, you'll call it something, but it's the same thing. The idea is the Christ consciousness is your connection to the divinity, your connection to the divine. It is the part of you that is divine. The soul of you is divine. Honestly, the body is too, because we're all made from the same stuff. But if we're going to talk, if we're going to talk at that level, we're going to forget, we're going to forget the material body. And we're going to focus on the part of us that continues to exist when we shed the material body. All right. So we're talking about the soul. And in the soul, the essence of you, that's where the Christ consciousness is found. Okay. That is the part of you that is divine. There's no question. We can quibble about the body all we want, about whether it's divine or not, okay? But the soul, your soul, is divine. Your soul belongs to the divine because it is part of the divine soul. It is the part that you have individualized for your use. And it exists outside of time and space. But that soul is the divine. Therefore, that soul is, in our terms, the Christ consciousness. Okay? You always have access to it. Now, if you want to make the best use of it, the way to get into the Christ consciousness is love. That's why if I'm going to talk about it like software, I'm going to remind you that the password to access that Christ consciousness is love. All right? So, in this, where she's saying, realize the Christ within, she's reminding us that the Christ is a part of us. It is up to us to use it. Okay? So there's that. All right. Now, she's got a couple that are interesting and a couple that made me go, wait, what? And then, like I said, let's see that first one. I am the light of the world. Ye are the light of the world. So the first, is that a quote from Jesus? The first one, probably. The second part, I don't know. Like, I kind of want to plug them all in and find out. Are they all quotes from Jesus? Are they all quotes from the Bible? Or some of them quotes from her? So, not my will, but thine be done. That is definitely a Jesus quote. But then she has this one where it says, blessed are my eyes, for they see clearly, distinctly, and perfectly. All right. So if you're walking into a situation that you need to see clearly, that is a perfect affirmation. That is a perfect affirmation. I am God's loving and obedient child. Blessed are my ears, for they hear easily, clearly, and distinctly. I am God's loving and obedient child. Okay, obedient kind of hits me a little weird. So that might be a word I might change. But if it works for you, it works for you. All right. I like this one. I'm not bound in personal consciousness. I am free with the freedom of spirit. And that is what I'm talking about. The soul that you are using isn't yours. You have individualized it. And so that is the freedom to know. And I always go back to that part in, it's a Brendan Fraser movie. It was Brendan Fraser and Elizabeth Hurley. And it's called Bedazzled, I believe. And there's a part, so in the movie, Brendan Fraser sells his soul to the devil. And towards the end of the movie, when he's just really screwed up and he's in jail, so he has this conversation, and the guy in the cell with him, who's dressed all in white, and I think he's a rapper. I don't remember who he is, and I keep forgetting to look. He says you can't sell your soul. You don't own it. That's what I'm talking about. And that's that freedom of spirit. Okay? We can't lose our soul. We can't sell our soul. We can't give our soul away because it's not ours. It belongs to the divine. That means that we are always held by the divine. Okay? We're always held by the divine. And that right there, the fact that you can't lose it, that should give you the most freedom. You have individualized it. It is so, but you are a part of the divine. That is where the freedom of spirit comes from. So, all right. My yoke is easy, my burden is light. I think that's a Jesus quote. Or it's a twist on a Jesus quote. So, now so here it is. I am strong in the presence and in the power of its might. See, that's where you can change the words. There's nothing to fear. I breathe the breath of life freely and easily. So, these are beautiful. Oh yeah. Divine order is established in my mind, body, and in all of my affairs, right? So, yeah. Realize the Christ within. That's all of those phrases point back to what you are made from. And I will go back to the quote. And I hear it on a regular basis, and I'm not sure. I can't remember who it's attributed to. In this case, I heard it in the Philosophy Friday group, so thank you, Tim. I don't always get what I pray for, but I always get what I pray from. Realize the Christ within. Pray from that consciousness. Always. And you'll get what you need. And like the Rolling Stones say, you don't always get what you want, but you always get what you need. Be aware of what you are praying from. All right, so realize the Christ within. And if I'm going to give you a mission today, that's it. Realize the Christ within. The mission today should we choose to accept it. Let's realize that. Access that software. The password is love. It is much easier to access the Christ consciousness than you think it is. We've been taught that we have to go through all of these hoops, and no, just love. You start there, you're good. All right. The other mission is the same mission I give you every day, which is the spiritual practice of self-care. Do something loving for yourself. Do something kind for yourself. Do something compassionate for yourself. Whatever that looks like. All right. I'm now discombobulated, so it's like I had this realization of, oh, what day is it? And I forgot something. And it's too late to do anything about it, so here we are. All right, but it has nothing to do with this. So, loving, kind, compassion, practice on yourself. The goal is to get to the point where everything you do is loving, kind, and compassionate for yourself and others. You are your own best test subject. Practice on yourself. But most importantly, you deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. All right, beloveds. I am going to move on. So I'm going to remind you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I am the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. I want you to know, if you want to know what's going on with the center, Creative Life Spiritual Center, please feel free to email info@creativelife.org. That will get you on the constant contact. One email a week, because real person doing it, he ain't got time for more than that. With the social medias, especially like the YouTube channels, if you will subscribe to the channels, then they will notify you when we upload new videos. I've gotten pretty good at uploading, because I archive these talks on these readings on mine. I don't want to clutter up the Creative Life one, but we do upload videos at least every week, sometimes a little more, depending on, sometimes I can clip things out of Jesse's talks that are interesting. So, you definitely watch out for that. So if you like, subscribe, follow, then you get more notifications. And it is a way that you can, and share, please. It's a way that you can support us, and all it costs you is a click. So we appreciate that, especially, me, since I do a lot of the social media stuff. I appreciate it. Thank you. make my job easier. And I do steal your memes. So, just so you know, if you post good ones, I will take them and post them on the center's website. So if you see a meme, you know that it was me that took it. So, we try and post light, bright, funny, uplifting, and helpful. So, I'm definitely not above stealing memes. And, okay, I guess I'm at the part where I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day. A realizing the Christ consciousness day, a loving day, a kind day, a compassionate day, a wellness day. That's a work reference. A get this party started day, middle of the week day, a do you have plans for this weekend day, good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. Or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. Okay? Know the truth of your being. I'm a big believer in peeling back the layers of everything that you have been told that you are. Get to know who the divine knows you to be. Because I can promise you one thing. The person that the divine knows you to be is good. And from there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time. Oh, hang on. Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. But today, we are doing a rerun of an amazing soul session with Cleopatra Williams. Although I heard she got married. So congratulations. She was a prima ballerina. She was a fantastic ballet dancer. And she went to nursing school and is now a birthing nurse. And her goal is to open birthing centers. So it's an amazing soul session. Please tune in for that. And what I intend to do is link her original. Once that goes live, then I want to link her original soul session where she first started talking about this. So I'll put that link in the chat for that. You don't want to miss this. This woman, she knows what she wants, and we know she's going to get it. Okay, so that's at 7 p.m. today on Facebook. I'd like to think it's going to be on Instagram, but Facebook and Instagram are weird, so, here we go. So, other than that, David will be on around 5 p.m. Cleo will be on with Reverend Jesse, and it's not live, like I said, it's a rerun, and then I'll be back with you at 9 a.m. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. I will see you next time.